What does Tim Burchett see as the problem with the David Grush SCIF? We have that and a whole lot more to talk about, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, please share on social media. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Okay, yeah, as we're all waiting for the information about the David Grush SCIF to drop, we have these comments from Tim Burchett in a really interesting interview with Ryan Graves. I highly encourage you all to check it out. But this one snippet really got my attention.
What are the next steps for Congress further validating what Mr. Grush said under oath?
Yeah, well, I guess the trick is, and it's kind of a double-edged sword, is to get him in the SCIF. But unfortunately, what somebody says in the SCIF, then it becomes secret. And then it is not, you're not allowed to discuss it. And so I'm a little leery of that. I'm just a little leery of that. I'm hoping that we can have another committee meeting and discuss it and bring in some more experts like yourself to discuss what's going on. I'd like to bring in some people that maybe work in some of these departments that they claim didn't exist, but now they're saying do exist, and talking to them about the processes that need to happen and exactly some of the reports that have been given to them and where they are, and if in fact they can talk a little bit about them and let us know, what's going on with it. But it's not moving. Government moves like a glacier, pretty much, as you know. And I would like to see it move a little faster. So we're just going to keep pushing, and that's where I hope we're headed with this thing. I still, disclosure, I don't know what that's even going to look like. I can't imagine. I wish we get a president in, because they all say they're going to release, just like the Kennedy files. They all say they're going to release them, but dadgummit, they never do. They never do.
Promise to give up.
Yeah, they never do they? They never do. Trump was going to release all the Kennedy files, and he released some of them, but something happened. And if you watch the infographics episode on the strange deaths that occurred after the Kennedy assassination and the CIA connection to those deaths, you might get a hint as to why those files were not released, because they would actually be damaging, to the CIA and to the country, losing faith in the CIA. But man, if that is true, if they had a hand in whatever went down, in whatever form that takes, then that information needs to come out and something needs to be done. Because if they were up to shenanigans then, they are probably still up to shenanigans now. And of course, they certainly are. And that's why I'm not a fan of Leon Panetta, former CIA director, possibly being part of the gatekeeping committee established by the Schumer-Rounds Amendment. Speaking of Tim Burchett, we have another interesting news item here. Check this out. Matt Gaetz makes ethics complaint against McCarthy over Burchett elbowing accusation. Oh, and I just wanted to wrap up the thought there about David Grush, the David Grush material in the SCIF, and how the Congress people won't be allowed to talk about that because that sounds accurate, right? They can't talk about what they reveal in the SCIF. I'm hoping they can use that information, to go to the speaker and say, hey, we learned this stuff, and now we need to form the select committee, because I think we really need that select committee. We need a public body in Congress devoted to furthering this conversation and getting this information out that's not dependent upon former CIA directors to release this information to us. But check this out. Matt Gaetz filed a formal ethics complaint against former Speaker Kevin McCarthy after Tim Burchett accused the ex-House leader of elbowing him in a hallway Tuesday. What? This incident deserves immediate and swift investigation by the Ethics Committee, Gaetz wrote. Congress has seen a substantial increase in breaches of decorum unlike anything we have ever seen since the pre-Civil War era. McCarthy appeared to bump into Burchett as he passed in a Capitol hallway Tuesday, which Burchett said was a deliberate elbow to his back. McCarthy later told reporters the interaction was not deliberate and that he was simply moving past Burchett in a small hallway. I guess our elbows hit as I walked. If I hit somebody, they would know I hit them. Whoa, whoa. McCarthy says, if I hit somebody, they would know I hit them. Well, apparently Tim did know you hit him, and Matt isn't happy about it and is filing a formal ethics complaint. Obviously, this is not UFO related, but it's got some of the key players in the UFO drama unfolding in Congress, and it shows the tensions between those players. So, a really interesting story, UFO related or not. Okay, let's talk just a little bit about the interesting image released by Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp on the recent episode of Weaponized, where you see that squid or dome UFO, whatever it was, that was over the Middle East, and there was a shoot down performed on that object. I don't know if it was actually shot down or if it was it recovered, but the think tank is revealing this interesting video of what might be a similar object. And this is the stabilized footage. You see orbs rotating around this weird object that kind of does look similar to that squid dome thing. But, you know, is it legit footage? Could this be some sort of mundane object mistaken for a UFO? Well, not if it's zipped up like that. So either this is, you know, a hoax or this is legit footage. Because, yeah, bugs don't do that. Yeah, let me know what you think. Is this legit footage or not? I think Tank does share the original YouTube channel that it came from. And I don't know enough about, you know, that channel to say if it's legit or not. But really intriguing, so let me know what you think in the comments below. Meanwhile, Kurt Russell and his son appeared on Jimmy Kimmel talking about UFOs, and I'm not going to play the footage because I don't want to get a copyright claim from Jimmy Kimmel, but Kurt Russell obviously saw a UFO. Many of you are probably familiar with the Phoenix Lights incident, and that he is actually one of the people that called that in. Because he saw it and he called it in. He was actually flying his plane at the time, and I think he had just landed or was just about to take off, and he saw the Phoenix Lights. Well, it turns out that his wife Goldie Hawn is an experiencer, and she has multiple sightings and even direct encounters with beings. And their son has also seen a UFO. So we have a high-profile family of experiencers that are now coming out publicly on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Now, of course, there's lots of laughs and giggles in the audience, and Jimmy Kimmel kind of has a smirk on his face, but really interesting, right? You know, we know a lot of this stuff runs in families, and it looks like we now have a high-profile family revealed to the public as a family of experiencers. And I love it, and I salute these guys for having the courage to talk about this in a public setting like that. Somebody needs to tell this to the government who is funding SETI. They're getting $200 million to seek out evidence of alien life. Well, they just need to go to Kurt Russell's family, right? Or give that money to Chris Bledsoe. He could convince them there's alien life out there. He is in contact with these guys, and it's provable, and he can summon UFOs. UFOs on demand, guys. You could save the $200 million or just give it directly to Chris. I don't know, guys. That seems like a waste of money, but let me know what you guys think. Okay, another item dropped by Klaus. This is really interesting. This is about remote viewing. And this is from a CIA document talking about the CIA and what they've been hiding, right? Here's a quote. Evidence from several laboratories has indicated the possible existence of an as yet unidentified channel wherein information is coupled from remote electromagnetic stimuli to the human nervous system. Here's a passage from that document. Considering that all three viewers showed a change in total or 10 hertz power across a remote stimulus boundary, and considering this constitutes a positive replication of SRI's earlier work, we probably observed a response to a remote stimulus. The situation is much less clear concerning a localized response to a remote stimulus. While a candidate peak has been identified using the VASI protocol and later observed using the Psi protocol, a quantitative measure must be developed to determine the probability of observing peaks with similar timing in the same data, but with random pseudo-stimuli. I don't know what any of that means. When they talk about remote stimuli in a remote stimulus boundary, are they talking, in terms of dimensions and consciousness? Are they talking about accessing the Akashic records? Things like that. That is what some people believe remote viewers are doing, accessing this database, or this, the source of all information that exists outside of our current reality, but what that people can get access to with the right training or abilities. And anybody can do it, as Das Smith says right here. Das Smith, a great remote viewer with the Future Forecasting Group, says all you need to know is it works and everyone can do it, and that seems to be the case. Anybody can do remote viewing. You just have to learn how. Some people are naturally disposed toward it. They can probably pick it up easier or without any training at all. But it's a real deal, and the CIA was trying to see how it worked. And this gives us a little insight into what they were finding out. Meanwhile, on MSN.com, mystery deepens as bright light explosion in northern Minnesota unlikely to be a meteor. Authorities in northern Minnesota were walking back their speculation that a meteor likely caused a burst of light and thunderous boom Monday evening, leaving more questions than answers about the occurrence. The mysterious event occurred around 6:40 p.m. It is obvious there was something of significance that passed over the skies of Beltrami County, but we can only speculate it was a meteor at this time. But now they're saying it wasn't a meteor. So we're talking about a UFO created a weird noise. Very, very interesting. UFOs are often silent. Are we talking about these crazy booms and weird noises that people are hearing in the sky? The sky trumpets, as some call them. I actually had a friend, one of my ghost hunting buddies, that heard one of these noises a few years ago in Austin. And they seem to be worldwide, and they are very mysterious. But I don't know if this is that, or if this is more UFO related. Of course, the sky trumpets very likely are UFO related. An interesting story. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Oh, and check this out. This is really intriguing. I've talked before about how widespread the Nazca mummy beings seem to be. They seem like they were all over the place interacting with humans. Potentially, that's certainly the evidence is certainly suggestive of that. But check this out. This is from petroglyphs from the Anasazi Ridge in the Santa Clara, Utah region. Obviously, Utah is a hotspot for all of this stuff, right? But so we got three-fingered and three-toed being here with a line across its chest. And could that be the being, right? I don't know why they would be depicting the metal implant in its chest, although since only the females had these implants, it may have served some sort of ceremonial or functional purpose that was important enough to depict them in these petroglyphs. So, I don't know if this is proof that the Nazca mummy beings were interacting with the ancient peoples of Utah, but it's certainly suggestive. I mean, we've got a spiral that could be a gateway, and we've got three fingers and three toes, and what very possibly could be a depiction of the implant in one of these beings. I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Lou Elizondo definitely seems to be suggesting that ancient peoples may have been interacting with the beings.
Is it possible that whatever is out there has been here for a while and has had some sort of influence on our species? I think it's certainly conceivable. I think it's too early to tell one way or the other that is a substantiated fact. But there's historical records in religious texts going way back to including the Judeo-Christian faith system that these things have been around for a while. When I was at the Vatican, they some individuals there had provided some very compelling evidence.
Yeah, the Vatican knows some stuff. But there you go. Lou is throwing it out there that the beings may have had some interaction with ancient peoples. And I believe that is probably the case. And they probably still have interactions today. And I wonder at the influence by these beings on humanity. How have they shaped us? How have they shaped our culture? How have they shaped our genes, potentially? What is their interaction with us? What do you think, guys? What are abductions all about? They're creating hybrids, definitely, but they also seem to be doing other things as well. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about this and everything else that I covered today in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. Love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in an even bigger way, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt, see the merch store below, or simply becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there's plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.